Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to the Not Your Average Mark podcast. And here is my friend Rick Elsey, right alongside of me. And you're probably looking at me going, "Hey, Mike, what's going on? Where's Guapo?" Well, we have some news. Guapo is on special assignment. Special assignment. And he'll
Yes.
be back later. Maybe.
Maybe.
Anyway, let's get started with the whole thing. Hopefully, I don't screw this up too bad. Let's thank Ross and the boys from Labor 12. The intro outro music. Song is called Head Rush. Album's called Monsters. If you want to go check them out, it's labor12.com. Labor XII. Let's give thanks to J-Ribs 3D printing. Now I don't have anything behind me here like Guapo normally does, but if you want something special, go ahead and check him out, and he'll take some good care of you. That's jribs3dprinting.com. It's thanks to American Legacy for the Not Your Average merch. And Blind Ambition Studio for all the graphic work. And there's a whole bunch of other stuff. But right now it's not on the top of my head. So let's go ahead and get this thing started, shall we?
Just say thank you to everyone. They know who they are.
If you're in the chat, we appreciate y'all being here. And let's go ahead and get started. We don't necessarily have all the detailed notes like Guapo normally has, so we're gonna give you the Reader's Digest version, and we're gonna kind of talk about it tonight. We have the results from SmackDown. First off, Alexa Bliss with Charlotte Flair defeated Piper Niven. What did you think of the match?
I always like when Piper Niven's wrestling. She's one of my favorites. I thought the match was really good. I think that not having Charlotte on the top of the card right now has been smart. I like her with Alexa. I like everything about this match from what everybody's doing. I'm really high right now on the women in WWE. I think they're doing really good.
I completely agree with that statement. The women in WWE are doing very well, and it is definitely a change in scenery having Charlotte Flair doing things to open the event instead of being the main attraction.
Yes.
Next up, we had Mello Don't Miz, which is Carmelo Hayes and The Miz, in case anybody didn't know that. They defeated Fraxium, which is Nathan Fraser and Axiom. Now, anytime Fraxium's in there, you're gonna expect anything going fast forward. And
yes,
this was definitely the case. And Carmelo Hayes and The Miz kind of held their own with everything, and there was definitely some high spots in this thing. But the main story out of this whole situation was The Miz giving the blind tag to Carmelo Hayes and coming in and using his finish to win the match versus having Carmelo do it.
Yeah, and even in the build to this, Carmelo didn't want this match. Miz went and did this behind Melo's back, and it's interesting that they've kind of flipped this dynamic now. Before it was almost like Miz was sucking up to Carmelo and trying to find a way to be relevant with Carmelo, and now it's almost like Carmelo just wants to do his own thing, and now Miz is kind of forcing this on him. So they've almost flipped the dynamic now, and it seems like they're pushing for Miz to be the bad guy, and maybe Carmelo Hayes is going to have a face turn.
I believe they were probably sitting in the writers' room, and they said we could never turn Carmelo Hayes face. He is too good at being a heel. And the Miz said, "Hold my beer."
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I'm interested because I feel like, back when Shawn Michaels turned on Marty Jannetty and he started the HBK character, I was like, God, he's such a good heel. He's such a good heel, but he's such a piece of crap. I mean, he's just like, there's no redeemable quality about this character at all. And then look what happened. The work is what got him over. And then eventually people loved him. And I think Carmelo Hayes is very Shawn Michaels like. And he moves in the same way. He's got the same kind of character that you would think, looking at him, he has no redeemable value. You put a guy like Miz in there, he's going to find the redeemable value in Carmelo Hayes. And I do think that Carmelo can be a very over babyface.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, we've seen that with some of the work that he was doing in NXT.
Mm-hmm.
Well, moving on, we had the Street Profits, Montez Ford and Angelo Dawkins with BFAB, defeated DIY, which is Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa with Candice LeRae. Give us your thoughts on that one.
I have decided that I'm pretty done with DIY as a team. And I only say that because I just feel like what made them work in NXT cannot be duplicated because there's been too much that's happened to them as characters. And so I feel like they put them together with the idea that we could do this again. And then they turned Johnny heel too. And then they've been these heels. And I don't know. I feel like Tommaso has been the star all along. And I feel like I think Tommaso is I don't know that he's a WrestleMania main eventer, but I do think that he is a upper level main event babyface, maybe not the main. I just don't see that in Johnny Gargano. I think Johnny Gargano is a solid utility mid card, and I just feel like he holds Tommaso Ciampa back.
I really agree with that.
And that's not to be crappy to Johnny. Johnny Gargano is an amazing athlete.
Yes.
But Johnny Gargano is very much, in my eyes, a Dolph Ziggler. He's you can put him anywhere, you can put him with anybody. He sells like a crazy person. He's never going to have a bad match. But I just don't think he's the guy you build anything around.
No, it feels like, I mean, his in-ring work is very, very good. But I feel like the character itself is kind of flat.
Yeah. Yeah.
He is definitely a follower, not a leader. I also see Ciampa being, I could see him being the United States champion.
You know where I think Johnny would shine? And this would be a harken back to they tried this once before. And it's a regular in tennis. At least it was when I was growing up watching it. We're at a point now where I feel like the roster is deep enough and there's enough couples that I feel like we could have a mixed division. And if Johnny and Candice went after, if there were like mixed titles and they could do that with men and women together on a team, I feel like Candice and Johnny would kill that division. Like they'd be amazing together. I think they're absolutely, they make each other better. I just think that unless they're doing something together like that, I just don't see them going anywhere. Not on their own.
No, It's really a complicated situation, and I know that there are some redeeming qualities for Johnny Gargano. I just my personal opinion is he does it feels like if he didn't have Tommaso Ciampa right now, I think he would still be in NXT.
Yeah, that's probably fair. That's probably fair.
Now, got to do a little bit of a rewind. The beginning of the show, we had the MFTs, which is Solo Sokoa, JC Mateo, Tongaloa, and Tala Tonga, all come out, and they were doing their stick in the middle of the ring, talking their shit, and we get a cameo from Sami Zayn,
Mm-hmm.
which Sami Zayn actually pinned Solo Sokoa last week
Yeah.
or the previous week, and Sammy started talking about the yes, I want to be a world champion, but things started opening my eyes to the fact that there may be things on the way to this world championship, and I believe I haven't held the United States championship,
Yep.
which Solo basically said, "You're a Raw guy. You need to go back to where you belong." And then we get the
Mm-hmm.
big surprise that Sami Zayn is the newest member of the SmackDown roster.
Yes.
We
Yes.
get we get a little bit of a beatdown. We have Jimmy Uso and Jacob Fatu coming out to make the save, which sets up the six-man tag for the main event of SmackDown.
Yes.
Now, main event: Sami Zayn versus Jacob Fatu versus Jimmy Uso, Sami Zayn, Jacob Fatu, and Jimmy Uso defeated the MFTs.
Yep.
And all in all, good match. What was the main takeaway from this match?
For me, I like the fact that uh, they're building a relationship with Jimmy and Jacob, and I loved the whole selling Jacob on Sammy. I thought that was great. Loved the hug at the end. Um, to me, I feel like it seems to me like we're building to another bloodline-ish versus MFT faction war. I just don't know that Roman will be involved this time because Roman's seems to be involved in the stuff that's going on Raw. And I don't know that Jay will be involved. So it seems to me almost like this is more of a Jacob-led thing. And I'm now curious to see where they go with that. Because if they've got Jacob, Sammy, and Jimmy, and then on the other side, you've got four guys, potentially five if Tama Tonga comes back healthy, then I'm like, well, who would they add to that? So, that's kind of what I'm getting out of what we're seeing. But I'm not somebody who's bored with the bloodline stuff. I'm not bored with the MFT stuff. I think it's great. I love factions. I'm a faction person. I've always been a faction person. I like stables. I like faction wars. So I was really excited about it. I thought it was a really nice ending to the show.
Right. Well, the main takeaway I took from it is Sammy has secured himself in pinning Solo Sikoa twice now. Sammy has secured himself as the number one contender for the United States Championship.
Yeah.
And I believe that's where we may be going in France.
That's very possible. They may add that. I mean, the Clash in Paris card right now is pretty stacked. I mean, you've got we don't know what's going to happen with the women's title with Stephanie Vicaire. We still have to figure that out. We know we've got Roman and Bronson. We know we've got the four-way with Seth, Punk, Knight, and Jay. I know that we have Cena, Logan Paul. And I feel like it is very possible that, I mean, we also have Sheamus and Rusev. I feel like it's extremely possible we're going to get Cody and McIntyre. So if they add Sammy and Solo to that, like, Jesus, that's going to be one of the biggest cards we've had in a while. That wasn't like a 2-night, PLE.
Right. What is that? 7 matches?
There'd be 7 matches on a non 2-night PLE. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Triple H doesn't like to do more than 5. So,
oh, you never know. But yeah, we'll get to we'll end up getting to more of the Clash in Paris stuff whenever we're discussing Raw.
yeah.
Going into Raw, we had Io Sky defeated Raquel Rodriguez with Roxanne Perez. Match took about 10, 11 minutes.
Yep.
And we had a segment beforehand, which was Io and Asuka basically having a conversation back and forth. Asuka saying she was sorry for what happened the week before, and Io saying it's okay, and Asuka saying, well, we can help you if you need me to, and Io said, I need to do this on my own.
Yeah.
Io gets the win. Raquel and Roxanne start the beatdown, and Rhea Ripley shows up.
Yeah.
Cleans house. Everything, we get the moment between Io and Rhea where they're looking at each other. They're doing the whole respect thing. And we go back with Asuka and in the back, and Asuka says, she can help you, but we can't.
Yeah, Asuka was pissed.
Yeah. And then we get the Kabuki Warriors having an argument with Rhea, and Io does her nice little temper tantrum like she always does, goes through, kicks the door, screams, and walks away, and everybody kind of looks awkwardly at each other after that and is like, okay, can we turn this camera off now?
Yeah, I feel like we're going to get Io and Rhea versus the Kabuki Warriors en route to an Asuka Io match. Asuka put out a pretty cool promo. I don't know if you saw it. It's on X is where I saw it. Where did you see it?
I did not.
She's very calm, and it was all in English. She didn't use any Japanese. It was all in English. And her English has improved leaps and bounds. But she was super calm, and she was just seated in her hotel, and she was talking right into the camera and telling the story of her and Io. And she ended with talking about how she's not really mad. She's not mad at all. She's just disappointed.
Ooh.
I know, so good. So, I mean, highly recommend. It's a good watch. Go seek it out. It's good stuff. It's one of the best promos Asuka's ever cut.
I'll have to go do that. Looking over here
I
at the
feel like
chat,
they'll show it on Raw.
looking over here at the chat, we have Erin Marie coming from Facebook. She says, "I've seen some of the storylines repeat lately over the years." You got a
Yeah, I
comment?
mean, you can't you really can't help but repeat storylines in wrestling because there's really nothing new to do. It's just basically how do we take something we did before and repurpose it and make it seem new for now. But another thing about people talking about repeating storylines, sometimes programs can last years and they may take breaks and you may stray away from the main meat of a story for a while, but then something happens and you come back around to it. It just, stuff like that happens. Hogan and Savage had a story, if you count all of their interactions together against each other, teaming with each other, constantly being in each other's periphery, their feud lasted from 1985 up until 1999. I mean, that because through two companies, they were either partners or rivals.
Yeah.
So you just, sometimes things go on for a while. Tommy Dreamer and Raven had a 2-year-long feud in ECW. And then Raven went away for a year and a half and came back, and then he and Tommy had another year together before he jumped to WWF. And then even in WWF on Sunday Night Heat, they still had a feud.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, programs tend to rear their head again and again and again and again.
I see your other comment over here, Aaron, and we will get to that here in just a little bit. Next one on the agenda would be Penta defeating Xavier Woods with Kofi Kingston and Grayson Waller. I really enjoyed all the talking that Xavier did during this thing. It was it was fun listening to Xavier talk about the fact that he was going to beat him like he owed him money because he really did owe him money. He owed him 18 grand because of that hat.
I really enjoy Xavier and Kofi in these new characters that they're doing. They're very entertaining to me. I also find Grayson Waller to be completely ridiculous in his role, and I like that.
Yes.
The black overalls with no shirt has got to go. That's out of bounds. That's just out of bounds, and that has to stop. But I mean, it's still good. I mean, it's fun. I really, really like it. I think they're doing a good job. And Penta, I am amazed at how over he is. I mean, he is over like Rover. And I love that they didn't immediately just go to the Lucha Bros the second that Ray Phoenix showed up, because I know that's what everybody was expecting. I'm glad that they're letting Penta shine because he's over, and they need to let him shine for as long as they'll allow him to.
Well, Penta right now is making money.
And
under fist money. He's like the number 3 merch seller
Yeah.
out of the entire WWE.
Yeah.
I think Cody I think he's number 4 because I think John Cena, Cody Rhodes, and CM Punk are the only ones that are ahead of him right now. And I think him and Jay, it's between Penta and Jay, they're selling more merchandise.
I'm sure
month to month.
Yeah, I'm sure they're neck and neck. Yeah, it's good. I love Penta, and I love the New Day right now. So this match was really fun. I enjoyed it. Loved it.
Yes, absolutely. I do enjoy the fact that we switched from the Penta Driver to the Mexican Destroyer to being his finish.
Yeah.
I believe it's much more believable.
Yes.
Because whenever we started, the Penta Driver was what we were using to finish the guy, and the Mexican Destroyer was the lead into it.
Mm-hmm.
Which technically, I believe Petey Williams is actually Penta's agent.
That would make a lot of sense. That would make a lot of sense because, you know, the Canadian Destroyer was Petey's move.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he's kind of responsible for that, for saddling us all with that move.
Yeah.
But I like that they're doing this because they're actually allowing a devastating looking maneuver to be the finish.
Mm-hmm.
And I love that. And you know that there's a whole subsection of fans out there that are like, what? He beat him with a destroyer? That normally gets a 1 count in other places.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It was built to be a finisher to begin with.
Yes.
It's not a transition move. It's not it's a finish.
Yeah, well, neither was the original DDT. We saw how that came out.
Yep.
Now people set up now a DDT is fresh out of the headlock. Mm-hmm. And then we pick them up, throw them into the ropes. What are we doing? What are we doing? I'm going to DDT you, and then we're going to go for hip toss. What?
This is not what we mean by work backwards, people.
No, it's not what we mean.
Moving forward, the Judgment Day, Finn Balor and JD McDonough with Dominic defeated Dragon Lee and Mr. Iguana. Now, this was Mr. Iguana's Raw debut.
Yes.
I'm kind of enjoying the Judgment Day and the Mr. Iguana kind of thing that they've been doing. They had the match in AAA at Triple Mania.
Mm-hmm.
Which we now revealed that Finn Balor has a new piece of merch.
$100 puppet.
Yes.
$100 for a demon puppet.
Yes. And I'm here for it. I'm not going to personally go buy it. You know, that's not my thing. But I'm here for it. You guys make money however y'all can. But
can I put something into the universe? Can I put something into the universe?
Do it.
Now that we have 2 characters in WWE who have puppets, and we have a loose relationship with TNA, whose director of authority also has a puppet. I'm going to need them to go ahead and make puppets of everybody. And I need a WWE version of the Muppet Show.
Hey, spin-offs happen.
Look,
spin-offs happen, and right now, WWE is trying to work with NBC Universal on getting a new program.
Dude, this is what I'm saying. They robbed me of Pretty Deadly the Musical. I need a WWE Muppet Show.
Yes. Jello in the chat says, do we think Dom will take the AAA championship?
I do eventually, yes.
I honestly think that how over Dominic is getting, him going and doing that is going to be a feel-good moment for him to be able to follow his roots.
The only thing that I think will keep Dom from winning that title is if they make the decision to go ahead and hire Alberto Del Rio. Because if they hire Alberto Del Rio, I can see them letting him beat Vikingo first because he's so over with their crowd in Mexico. They were chanting for him during the AAA four-way main event.
Yes.
And they were booing Vikingo. And so I feel like if that's a discussion that's being had, I could see Alberto being the one to take the belt off of Vikingo, and then maybe Dominic screws Alberto over and wins the title.
That is heat right there.
Yeah, that to me is where if you're going to have Dominic do that, that's the way to do it because that's where the heat is. If Dominic beats Vikingo, the crowd's going to cheer it. And as much as we know Dominic is destined to be a babyface because of his reactions, I don't know that it needs to happen right now. I feel like Dominic isn't a babyface full time until Rey Mysterio is 100% done.
Yes. Absolutely. And Jello also saying it's funny Dom is so hated in WWE, but he's loved in AAA.
Yes. Well, they love their own, and that's you know, I remember being a teenager, and Terry Funk had just tried to kill Ric Flair with a plastic bag, and was a heel everywhere. And then WCW came to Amarillo, and Terry Funk was booked against Sting, who was easily the most over character in the company at that time. And the Amarillo crowd booed Sting and cheered Terry Funk.
Yep.
Because that's just the way it works.
Mm-hmm.
That's where the whole Bizarro world thing comes in. You know, you had the Hart Foundation telling people in America that, you know, America was where you stuck the hose if you wanted to give the earth an enema. And then they go up to Canada and be revered as heroes.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, of course, Dominic is going to get cheered in Mexico City. But if they do that thing with Alberto in that way, I think that's how you get him to be booed.
No. All right. We got a new follower. Thank you for following Tiny. It's Nino Duera. But we all know him as Tiny. Thank you for the follow. Now, we have Becky Lynch defeated Natalya for the Intercontinental or to retain her Intercontinental Championship.
Yes.
I believe that this is where the big story that we're going to get. We're going to transition Natalya into Natty Neidhart.
I do. I believe that is where we're going. I think that they did it at Triple Mania to see how it looked on WWE with a WWE presentation. But I think that the main roster Natalya character is going to slowly devolve into Natty Neidhart.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that when she finally turns into Natty Neidhart, the unfortunate victim of all of it is going to be Maxine.
No, I'm here for a good story.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And here's the thing. If they choose to go that route and Natty destroys her and they allow her to get built back up, that could turn Maxine into a huge babyface.
Yeah, absolutely. And
who knows? That may end up being the direction they go in.
Yes, indeed. Now, we had a vignette of sorts with Bayley,
which I loved.
Yeah, I wanted to get your thoughts on that because it was a Hollywood style deal where we could hear her in her head.
Yeah.
And I've heard a lot of negative comments on the internet
Yeah.
saying, why did it have to be this way? So please explain to us.
I believe what we're getting from Bailey is we are getting a 3 Faces of Foley, but we're getting a 3 Faces of Bailey. And I think that she's going to flip back and forth between the hugger, between the role model, and between what we, like just basically Pam Martinez.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that by letting us hear the voices, we're not having to guess about what's happening. They're coming right out and they're putting out a cinematic presentation.
Mm-hmm.
And for everyone who wants to come after them for that and talk about, well, why is this happening? Why is that happening? I just have one thing for them. Do you not ever watch pro wrestling? Because if you're a pro wrestling fan, the one thing you should understand more than anything is the phrase suspend your belief. And so, it allows for easier consumption of the context of the story to just come right out and hand it to us that way.
I agree, and I liked how it all got put together, but I believe I'm not going to name names, but there was a certain wrestling reporter that said it would have been a better situation if they would have done it like Bob Newhart did his phone calls back on that series.
I don't know that wouldn't have been cool too. I don't know. I think that that could have worked. That could have worked. But I don't think what they did was bad. I like it. It was very outside of the box. I enjoyed it. That last line, man. The last line. Do you need a hug? Oh,
yes.
God, it's so good. So good.
I popped big for that.
Look, I know I've seen interviews with her in the past where she said, you can't go backwards. It's a different character. I don't want to be the hugger anymore, blah, blah, blah. I am telling you, I'm going to have a visceral emotional reaction. It's going to be somewhere between a pop and maybe tears. If that music hits and those Bailey buddies come up from the floor, I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't know what I'm going to do because there's a piece of me that wants that so bad as a fan to see that again. But at the same time, knowing everything that she's been through and her character and how hard she's worked. And the pandemic, who's going to argue that during the Thunderdome era that Bailey wasn't the female MVP of the Thunderdome era?
Oh, absolutely.
Who's going to? Bailey and Drew McIntyre deserve every bit of flower that you could possibly give them for carrying the company on their back during that period.
Oh, without a doubt, without a shadow of a doubt.
So for me, I get why she doesn't want to go backwards, but if we can find a way to work this into the current vernacular and make this character kind of a 3 Faces of Foley and get us a little bit of the hugger with the Bailey buddies and the music, like I said, I might get emotional. Like I really might get emotional. Like I want it so bad.
Right. Well, looking over here in the chat, we see Jello says it reminded him of the Alexa Bliss and the Therapist.
Yes. It definitely had some of that vibe.
All right. Well, moving on to our main event. We had Jey Uso defeat Braun Breaker in an Extreme Rules match, where everybody and their dog, including Roman Reigns, came out.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I was sitting in the room. I was watching it with my mom, who absolutely hates clusterfuck run-ins. She hates it. And when Jay agreed to the Extreme Rules match, my mom was like, "What are you doing? You know that they're going to jump you. It's going to be 3-on-1." And I said, "Yes, but it also means LA Knight can get involved, CM Punk can get involved, and Roman Reigns can get involved." And then it all went down like that. And she just looked at me and she was like, "Shut up." Because every time one of those baby faces ran out, she popped. And I was like, and that's why they do it. That's why they do it.
Hey, I know you haven't been doing this very long, Rick.
Yeah.
Yeah. Aaron says I want her to go back to being the hugger, and I think we're all unanimous in that.
We all do. We all do.
But all in all, WWE programming for the week, I would say we had a solid we had a solid B plus for everything.
Yeah, I mean, I could go for a B plus. I do feel like that right now they are kind of running in a lower gear, because I feel like, they got Clash in Paris coming up. They got WrestlePalooza right after it. There's a Saturday night's main event coming up here pretty quick. I don't know what they're going to do in October, but we've got Survivor Series after that. We have Crown Jewel Perth coming up, and then we've got Survivor Series. I mean, we're at the point now where we've got a PLE almost every 3 weeks. So they can't go balls to the wall. They just can't. Every once in a while, they can pop out an angle that's going to make everybody go, "Oh my gosh, that was amazing." But for the most part, I think you're going to get solid B work, because to have an A every week just paints themselves into a corner that they can't get out of. And why do you want to hotshot everything so fast?
Absolutely. And I'm in complete agreement with that, because there's no need to. I like a slow burn,
Yeah, everyone should. You should like a slow burn. I mean, I hear Marvel fans all the time, "Why can't we get more than a 6-season Disney Plus show or a 6-episode? Why can't it be 9 episodes? Why can't it be 12 episodes?" And then those same people turn around and get upset when the bloodline lasts for 4 years. Like, guys, what? You either want longevity or you don't. Like, I don't know how to help you with that.
For sure. Absolutely. But now that we've got the WWE programming out of the way, why don't we go to everyone's favorite segment? Hopefully Patrick's sitting around the computer. It is time for Notes from the Clown Show. All right, guys. Okay, big news coming out of AEW land. We are going into this weekend being the Forbidden Door pay-per-view, which is a combination of New Japan Pro Wrestling, AEW, and CMLL.
And Stardom.
And Stardom. So we have the oldest tournament ever in professional wrestling. The G1 Climax tournament. We have an AEW guy win this. Konosuke Takeshita. I said that. Yep. Did I say that right? Okay. He wins the G1.
Yeah.
Which should be big news. Do we mention it on AEW Dynamite? Not at all. Not at all. Why?
He's not even in the card, is he? He's not even on Forbidden Door, is he?
I don't believe so.
I don't think he is.
No. But why wouldn't you want to feature this guy that just beat everybody?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, Will Ospreay is legitimately hurt, and he's going to go ahead and wrestle, which is ridiculous. Like Tony Khan's going to allow that. You could pull him and put Takeshita in there, and probably get a big pop because it would almost be a face turn for him.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
but Tony didn't want to do that.
No. Let's not capitalize on anybody that's hot.
No, not at all. Okay. And you kind of stole one from me because that was another one of the things that I was talking about is Ospreay. You know. Why are we going to go ahead? I mean, I know he's up for surgery in just a few weeks, but why are we going ahead and risking any further injury
in a lights out cage match?
Yes.
With 2 teams of 5, 9 other bodies in a lights out cage, and you've got a guy who needs neck surgery being allowed to compete in it.
And
which of these things is not like the other?
Right. And I believe Tanahashi is involved in that too.
Yes, who can barely walk.
What the hell is going on? Tony.
I don't know.
What are you doing, dude? Really?
He's doing what he always does. He's supersized serving his crowd at the expense of everything that would make him profitable.
Okay. Sure. But let's try to take care of I get it, Tony Khan, you have more money than any of us combined could ever even think about. But what's going to happen whenever people get tired of this bullshit? What then? What happens when Warner Brothers Discovery goes, "Look, man, we're not doing this anymore."
Yep.
Then what?
AEW will find a home on YouTube, and they will die a slow death until Chad Gunn gets tired of underwriting it and finally sells it off. That may be 10 years from now, but it will eventually happen because that company cannot keep going like it is. And at some point, one cog in the wheel or 2 cogs in the wheel are going to say, we can't do this anymore.
Right. Which actually is a really good segue to my next one, as Guapo would say. So, once upon a time, in a land not so far away, Hangman Adam Page decides to burn down a house.
Yes, he did.
Fast forward, that burning down somebody's house on live television wasn't good enough. Now we're really going to set people on fire, or at least threaten it.
Yeah.
So MJF, which I'm an MJF fan. Been an MJF fan since he was doing indie work.
Yep.
Back in Major League Wrestling. You know, he is threatening to light Mark Briscoe on fire. Just so we can do with this pay-per-view what is the most predictable thing in the world. We now have the stipulations because Hangman agreed to the terms so Mark Briscoe didn't become a crispy critter, that the title can change hands now on disqualification and countout.
Yep.
Okay, that's fine. But now, instead of using his little his little contract that he had by winning that casino gauntlet, he didn't have to use it. So obviously, this is what this means. Hangman Adam Page is going to beat MJF.
Mm-hmm.
And as soon as it's over, some kind of shenanigan is going to happen after the fact. MJF is going to cash in the title, that little contract, and then boom, MJF is walking out as the champion.
That's almost assuredly going to be the finish. I would be the most surprised person in the world if that's not exactly how it happens.
Well, I mean, it's predictable.
Yeah. Well, so is most of what AEW is doing right now.
Which is one of the reasons why whenever we do this, the fantasy points that I get are normally from AEW.
Yeah. You gotta love AEW land.
Yes. We have the over here in the chat. We have Jello said today's B work is better than what was. I don't necessarily. I feel like there may be some words that were twisted in that. Better than what was. I don't get it. Aaron Marie says overworking them and not caring.
Yeah.
I'm guessing that's Tony Khan. And
here's the thing. I don't know that it's so much he doesn't care. I feel like he's afraid to say no.
Yes.
I feel like if he knows that Ospreay shouldn't be working, but he feels like if he forces the issue, Ospreay's going to want to do something else. And he wants to keep Ospreay happy.
Yes.
But at some point, you have to save these guys from themselves.
Absolutely.
One of the reasons why the protocol for concussions and the neck surgery stuff was so rigid in WWE was because they had such a string of wrestlers dying on their watch that post Chris Benoit, after they had Pillman and Owen and Eddie and then Benoit, they were like, screw this. We're not doing this anymore. And if our doctors tell you no, then no means no. You're done. And then, they say we're done. Well, I can just leave and go to AEW and Tony Khan will let me do whatever I want. Look at Bryan Danielson now. Danielson was healthy after he came back. And now he's been in AEW for what, 3 years or so?
Yeah, since 2021.
And he can barely work now because he's done so much new damage that would never have been done if he'd stayed in WWE.
I completely agree.
But he left for the same reason Moxley left, because he got tired of not being able to do what he wanted to do.
Yep. So, over here in the chat, Jello is saying he's seeing rumors pop up all over the place that Chris Jericho will return at the 2026 Royal Rumble. correct me if
I
I'm
don't.
wrong, but didn't Jericho sign a 10-year contract with Tony Khan like 3 years ago?
I am not positive about that. I don't know. But I believe that the whole root of this whole thing with Jericho potentially going back, I believe that this whole thing has been orchestrated by Jericho and AEW to get people talking. And then when he pops back up miraculously on AEW television in a top spot, people are like, oh my God, they must have done something to keep him. I think that this is just a way for them to get attention. I don't feel like there is even a chance remotely on the table that Jericho returns anytime soon. Do I think he'll eventually go into the Hall? Yes, I do. Do I think it's going to be in the next 3 to 5 years? No, I don't.
No, I'm thinking more along the lines of probably 2035-ish.
I mean, that's look, Jericho may end up going in when he's, 65, 70 years old. I don't know. Depends on how healthy he is. But it's just not going to happen. It's just not going to happen anytime soon. And he has stated on multiple occasions that he's not interested in it. He's not looking for it. And I think that Jericho is a guy who's run his mouth enough since he's been gone that he knows the second he goes back, he's going to have so much online heat from people calling him a hypocrite. I just don't think he wants to deal with it.
Well, there's that also.
You notice most of the people that have come back did not run the company down when they left.
Rusev did.
A little bit, but has he won shit since he's been back?
A little bit.
He got his ass handed to him by Sheamus quite a bit.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like they're definitely making him earn it.
I can see that. Now that we've got that headline out of the way, I've got a couple of other headlines from this week in wrestling news for us. And number one on this list, Jimmy Uso. Jimmy Uso is the man to blame for the fact that the WWE Female World Championship has been vacated.
Yes. Because Jimmy likes to Netflix and chill.
Yes. In all reality, congratulations to Naomi and Jimmy. I mean, this was something that, they didn't think was going to happen, considering Naomi only has one ovary. So, yeah. I mean, all in all, not necessarily a planned thing, and definitely shitty timing. But all in all, there's a life here, and I'm happy about it. And as she said, the bloodline continues.
Yeah. I do like how they did it. I like that they kind of allowed her to maintain a little bit of her heel persona.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was really nice. And now I'm super looking forward to finding out what they do with the title at Clash in Paris. Do we just go to the Io Sky Stephanie Vaquer match? Do we do something multi-woman? Do we do some kind of a concept? Like, what are we going to do? Now I feel like it's more exciting because I didn't feel like Stephanie was going to beat Naomi anyway.
Right. I feel like Stephanie needs some more time on the main roster before they pull the trigger on that one.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, I mean, honestly, we're all going to have to sit back and we're going to have to watch. And we've got, what, 2 weeks?
Yep, we got 2 weeks to find out how they handle it.
Well, let's stay tuned and we'll see where this story progresses.
Yep.
Next on the agenda, ESPN is taking over PLE events a lot faster than we thought they were going to.
Yeah, starting with WrestlePalooza on September 20th. Lucky me.
September 20th. We not only have All Out, but we have WrestlePalooza, which the headline match for WrestlePalooza is going to be John Cena versus Brock Lesnar.
And I've also heard buzz of Seth Rollins, CM Punk, Hell in a Cell.
Well, you gotta continue. You gotta do it big if you're gonna counter program AEW, because you know what kind of hard hitters they are.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep. So with WrestlePalooza, all PLEs moving forward from the main roster are going to be on ESPN.
Mm-hmm.
The NXT pay-per-views will still be on Peacock. The Saturday night's main events have moved exclusively to Peacock.
Right, and we have two more of those.
Raw will still be on Netflix. SmackDown will still be on USA and Netflix internationally. But yeah, now you look around, you've got Netflix, Peacock, USA, ESPN, Evolve is on Tubi, NXT is on CW. WWE is operating on 6 separate platforms.
And it gets better, because we know that TNA has a working relationship with WWE.
Yeah.
What does this mean? TNA is now in talks with CW and A&E for Impact.
Oh, and I forgot LFG is on A&E, so that's 7 platforms.
Yes. So
Jesus.
we have TNA talking to CW and A&E right now, with the machine helping them.
Yeah.
And they are moving. They're talking in talks of moving to Wednesday nights, going head to head with AEW.
Oh my God. And then we still don't know where AAA is going to end up. So, I mean, my gosh, dude, what timeline are we living in? What is going on?
It is a good time to be a wrestling fan.
Yes, it is. Good Lord.
And the beautiful thing about this whole situation is 90%, 99, I would say almost 100% of this is replayable. If you're not able to watch it live, all you have to do is tune in later, click a button, and boom, you're going.
Yep.
Which means we don't have to have all of we don't have to have all of this. You know, I gotta sit at home and I can't do anything on September 20th because I really like to go to Squared Circle Pro, but I can't because this is the only time that I get to see this kind of stuff.
No. Yeah, they can watch All Out or WrestlePalooza. They can watch it the next day or when they get home.
There you go. Exactly. Just fair warning: if you're gonna try to watch All Out after you get home from Jake's, you might be up a while, because I'm sure that program is still going to be going 4 hours off after Squared Circle Pro goes off the air.
I was going to say, if you're going to start that show when you get home from SCP, might as well go ahead and get breakfast ready.
Yes, exactly. So let's go to some ratings, shall we?
Yay, ratings.
Okay, we'll start off with the ratings from AEW Dynamite. Not this week because it's too quick from last week. AEW Dynamite was 690,000 people.
Yes.
Which is better than their trend because they were down in the lower 600s at some point. So they're being able to bring some people back, and I do believe that's not a bad thing. I mean,
no,
I'm not going to knock people for being a wrestling fan. If AEW is your cup of tea, have at it.
Well,
it's
I don't want to rain on that parade, but I did see the Dynamite numbers for yesterday, shortly before we started.
Okay.
And they fell under 600,000. It was like 595.
Oh, wow.
So they lost almost 100,000 viewers from week to week on their go home show for.
Oof.
Or not their go home. I'm sorry, it's not the go home. But it's they're definitely in their building process. So yeah, it's yeah.
This was the go home Dynamite.
Oh, was it? I mean, oh, that's right. Forbidden Door is this weekend. That's right. Yes, it is the go home show. Yeah, yeah. They're down under 600,000 for your go home show. But see, I think that Forbidden Door, I feel like it's a throwaway show. Because, again, AEW Forbidden Door is marketed to a specific section of the crowd who knows what New Japan and CMLL and Stardom is. Your average wrestling fan doesn't watch those shows. So if you're a casual viewer and you see an advertisement for Forbidden Door, I just don't think you're going to spend $50 on that when you don't know half the stuff.
Well, exactly. I have never watched anything as far as New Japan programming. I've never watched any CMLL programming. I barely know that Stardom is a thing. On to NXT ratings. This week they had 625,000 on the CW. Which, I mean, fair. They're kind of, them and AEW are kind of neck and neck. But also, this is not necessarily an out for NXT, but this is only people that have the digital digital numbers that they can track. If you're sitting with an antenna, your numbers don't get counted.
Yep.
So I learned that from a friend of mine whenever I decided to do commercials on CW. SmackDown had 1.4 million on USA, and Monday Night Raw is the juggernaut of the week with 2.8 million on Netflix.
Yep.
I mean, but technically, didn't Triple Mania show actually outdo all of these numbers?
Yes. The AAA, the AAA was well over 3 million as of the other day for like impressions for the week, I think.
It was the impressions for the first 24 hours.
Oh well, there you go. I mean, that's crazy. That's absolutely insane that AAA is getting those kind of numbers.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's nuts.
Okay. Do you have any more news?
No, I don't really have. I don't really have a lot of news. You pretty much covered everything. Um, yeah, I don't think that there's anything else that is really pressing out there.
Okay. Well,
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. There was a Hogan headline.
oh, let's hear about it.
Okay, so they said that his death may, and you can look this up. It's actually out there on social media. They're saying that his death may have been as a result of medical malpractice.
Oh,
Which I think is interesting because even in death, that dude can't put anybody over clean.
oh, Rick. Rick. Oh, that's so bad. Patrick in the chat said, "What the fuck?"
Do you think that when the coroner and them got to his body, that they raised his arm 3 times and let it fall before they called time of death?
Too soon. Too soon.
And when he died and the Grim Reaper actually showed up, if the Grim Reaper appeared to him as Samuel L. Jackson, that would have been really poetic.
Okay. We need to get away from this segment.
Can you imagine if when Hogan saw the Grim Reaper and it was Samuel L. Jackson and Hogan goes, "Mother."
Okay. That's it. We're cut off. No more. Why don't we discuss some local independents real quick?
Well, since you're up first, why don't we talk about you?
Okay. BCW, September 13th, live TMW Event Center. It's not only one show, it is 2 shows. Because
yes, it is.
Lubbock Pro Wrestling 101 will be doing an invitational showcase from 1:30 to 3:30 that afternoon. And then 5:30, the doors open for BCW. Now, rumor has it, I may have started this rumor, I don't know. Rumor has it that if you attend the Lubbock Pro Wrestling 101 Invitational, you may be able to be entitled to a discount to the BCW show.
Wow, that's cool.
Normally, we have tickets for $18 at the door for adult general admission.
Yep.
Pre-sale is $15. What I'm going to do is for the people that attend the Pro Wrestling 101 Invitational, you will still receive the pre-sale price.
Nice.
And there may be a handshake or something along the lines along with that. You know, how us promoters, we pay in handshakes.
Yeah.
That's what everybody thinks anyway.
Yeah. I get that.
But no, I have I have 2 matches announced for this so far. We have the main event, which will be BCW Heavyweight Champion Garrison Creed with the Country Devil in his corner. Will be facing Nathan Briggs. And we have a 5-alarm heat Texas Championship match where we will have 5 individuals in the ring. We have Marty Snow. We have Marcus MD. We have Father Patch. We have Chasen D Cash. And we have Emilio Guzman, which is our champion.
Yep.
We will have 2 referees. We will have 1 referee on the inside, 1 referee on the outside. This is not your typical, what you see on WWE television, multi-man match. There are rules involved. There will be disqualifications. There will be countouts. And the champion, if the champion decides to get disqualified, then I guess he's not around to be the first person to pin or submit somebody. So if the champion decides to get himself counted out or disqualified, he will no longer be the champion, and we will have a new champion at that point.
Wow. So in order for Emilio to retain, he's going to have to pin or submit somebody.
Exactly.
Wow. No champion's advantage. That's interesting.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's what a lot of champions do. A lot of champions look for that opportunity to get involved in matches where the rules are suspended so that they can save their championships.
Exactly.
Interesting.
We will be having another title match. We will have Team Nefarious, who will defend their tag team championships against Draven Reeves and Mac the Franchise. And stay tuned to your social medias, and we will be announcing more coming up soon. Now, if that wasn't enough, we have fast forward 1 more week from that. We have Squared Circle Pro's birth anniversary.
Yes. It'll be the celebration of 14 years, and it'll be the beginning of year 15 after that show.
Wow.
And we have 2 matches that were announced by the end of Drunk with Power. Those 2 matches that are already out in the universe. We have Brian Rage Rivera versus Baby Samoa in an Island Street fight. And we also have a tag team match with stipulations. We have the team of Phoenix and Tino Valentino versus the team of El Gringo Loco and Stevan Remsen. If Phoenix and Tino win their match, Phoenix will earn yet another opportunity to merge the title he carries with Gringo's SCP Championship, and that will happen at Pieces for Quitters. If Gringo and Stevan Remsen win the match, Gringo will relinquish his title, Phoenix will relinquish his title, and he will hand it to El Gringo Loco.
Well, they've agreed to the stipulations, so
they've agreed to the stipulations. There are at least 3 more matches that are taking place that we are negotiating right now, myself and TJ Mundell. There could potentially be a 4th. At minimum, this will be a 5-card, or at minimum, this will be a 5-match event, potentially 6.
sounds like a winner to me. Well, we are right at that, getting really close to that 9:30 mark. I say we go ahead and start wrapping this baby up. We'll go ahead and go to final thoughts. Rick, the floor is yours.
Final thought. Indie wrestling is extremely important, guys. If you do not like what you watch on television, I guarantee you there's an indie show within 20 miles of your home. They're everywhere. And you can easily search it out. Everyone that you currently enjoy on television started out on the indie scene. If they didn't start out on the indie scene, they started in the PC and worked their way up through what would be a close facsimile of the indie scene. So just know that when you skip out on your local indie, you're skipping out on the opportunity to see the stars of tomorrow today. And more times than not, it's far more affordable than a streaming subscription.
Absolutely. And a whole hell of a lot more fun.
Oh my gosh, so much more fun. I know so many people who have who are of the mindset that they will only watch indie wrestling. They will not watch televised wrestling. It's just because the indie scene is so much more fun. And right now in West Texas, if you're somebody in West Texas, there are several promotions at your fingertips. There are 2 promotions that regularly feature in Amarillo. There are 4 promotions that regularly feature in and around the Lubbock area and the surrounding towns. There is at least 1, if not 2, that I know of close to El Paso. And you could throw a rock in Dallas and hit a wrestling promotion. They're everywhere. So go out and check them out, guys.
Yes, absolutely. And if you happen to be close to Big Spring this weekend, I do believe 360 Pro is going to be in that area. So if you do happen to be over there, go check those guys out.
Yes.
I believe they actually have the APA that's going to be there.
Yes, they're doing a meet and greet. And I believe Damo McCullough is on that show.
I believe he's their heavyweight champion.
Well, there you go. There's a reason to go right there.
Yep, absolutely. Now, for my final thoughts, guys, what you see in the ring is barely scratching the surface of wrestling. There are so many cogs to this that are behind the scenes, that are doing things, and the people that take tickets, the people that are doing around the ring security, the referees, the announcers, the guy that's popping the popcorn, whatever. There are so many people that help make this machine do what it needs to do, those guys are the silent heroes of the professional wrestling business.
Very true.
If you go to a show in the near future and you see that person that's taking tickets, you see that person that's doing the concession stand, you see that person, you see all these people, make sure it would mean the world to them if you told them thank you, because they deserve it just as much as the guys that are in the ring performing for you. That's all we got for the day. Please go to our socials and check everything out. Click all the things. All you got to do is type in "not your average Mark," and we will get it. You will get all kinds of things that are going to be thrown at you. Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, wherever you like to go consume your social media, you can find it. So go and click all the things. Give them a follow.
Yes.
Subscribe. Do whatever you can. And until next time, I'm Mike Caldwell. That's Rick Elsey. We are Not Your Average Mark. Have a good night.
I'm gonna drink it all away and find my head right.